Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, January 7th, 2020, and we again find ourselves in the final hour of the trading day. As I mention each day, in my opinion, the prices that you can get as close to the close of the day are the most valid prices of the day to make your buying and selling decisions from. And I say that because during the day you have the algorithms, you have the day traders battling it out, moving stuff around. I consider it noise. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions, the market makers. They come in at the end of the day and set the tone for the day. They have the best networks, they have the best information. They're dealing with large amounts of money, and in my opinion, they move the price at the end of the day where it should be. I want to follow the money, and at the end of the day, the money comes in. So that's why I make the majority of my buying and selling decisions at the end of the day. It's nice, it frees up your day. You don't have to sit in front of your computer and watch every tick and get exhausted. So, you can just come here at the end of the day and then make your buying and selling decisions. So, interesting day so far, kind of a mixed market. The Dow's down 94 points, the Nasdaq's up 5 points, and the S&P's down 6 points. So a bit of a mixed bag. But we are having a good day today, and I'm glad to say. Taking some money out of the market today and green on the P&L. So it's been tough the last couple of days. So nice to hopefully, knock on wood 3 times, put some points on the board today. So anyway, all right, let's take a look. Mount Doji's, what's going on? Greetings from Costa Rica. ARCE is doing work. Yes, sir. I was watching that today, and I'm going to go over that later. But I was wondering, I wonder if Mount Doji still has that. So I'm glad. I'm glad to see that you do. Mount Doji says, may exit so I can just relax while I'm out here. That's not a bad idea either. I mean, it's a nice day today. My gosh, it's up 2.8%. So that's been nice. So we'll see what happens, right? I know when you're on vacation, you have positions. It's like, should I look? Should I not? Should I take my vacation? So anyway, you let me know. You let me know what you're doing. But I'm really glad to see that up for you, Mount Doji. So, all right. Well, listen, the plan for today, as usual, first of all, we're going to go ahead and run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. I'm going to talk about why I bought, or when I bought them, why I bought them, more importantly, how I'm going to manage them going forward. After that, we're going to take a look at some of your positions that you've been kind enough to share with me and we have on the board. So we'll go through each one of those as well, like Mount Doji and Amon Solo and Evan. A bunch of you have positions I have up here, so I want to go through those, take a look, see. After that, we're going to do a few minutes on trader psychology. I like to repeat this every day, but guys, listen, guys and girls, please listen. The most important skill that you can develop in trading by far is the ability to be disciplined and follow your trading plan. It's important to learn the fundamental or the technicals, price actions, entries, exits, support, resistance. That is very important to help you build a plan. But no matter how good of a plan you have, if you can't follow it, it doesn't matter, right? So if you find yourself not being able to follow your plan, you have to change something up so that you can follow your plan. One option is just to reduce your position size. That will reduce the amplification of your emotions. That will help you stick with your plan. Or find yourself a little accountability buddy, right? A risk manager, whether it's your husband or wife or boyfriend or girlfriend, brother and sister. Explain to them what you're doing, show them your plan, and have them help you stick to your plan. Now, I know in a perfect world, we shouldn't need this. We should just have the discipline to do it ourselves, but I get it. I get it, right? So, along these same lines, in 2018, obviously I know charts, I know entries, exits. I know my weak point is following the plan. So I hired someone to make sure I followed the plan for the whole year, right? And I thought, is this worth spending this money? And it was. Trust me. I'm not saying you have to go out and hire somebody to micromanage everything you do, but maybe tell, like I said, a spouse or a friend or a brother or sister or someone, explain to them what you're doing so that you're accountable. And in my opinion, that's going to be the one that's going to be most effective. And then you'll get in the habit of doing it and so forth and so on. So we're going to do a few minutes on trader psychology, some, helpful sayings and good trading words of wisdom. After that, we are going to go down through each stock on my watch list one by one. We're going to take a look at support, resistance levels, indicators, MACD, RSI, moving averages, ATR channels, and the way my philosophy on trading is that I look at each particular indicator as a potential group of buyers. And if you want to buy a stock, put yourself in the position to have the most likely, put yourself in a position that puts yourself in a position where it's most likely that you're going to have a profitable trade, is you have to be in the company of other buyers and as many buyers as possible. And so if one indicator represents one group of buyers and another indicator represents another group of buyers, if they come together at the same point in time, then that's two groups of buyers. So I like to look for a combination or a confluence of indicators lining up. The more, the better. That's step one, what I'll be looking for. Step two, I want to make sure that I have a good risk to reward ratio. Sometimes you can have a nice confluence of indicators lining up, but it may be the risk to reward may not be there. There may be too much resistance above you based upon where the support and your stop is below you. So I like to look for at least a 2-to-1. If I'm willing to lose lose $100, I want to be able to make $200. So 2-to-1 based upon the resistance above and my stop below. So that's step two. Step three, make sure that you don't have too many highly correlated positions. You don't want an Amazon, an Apple, a Google, and an AMD. If the market goes up, yeah, you're doing great. But if you're going down, you're getting hammered. So it's important to diversify, have different types of stocks in different industries, and even go outside, maybe some oil, some bonds, some gold, some silver, so that you don't have all your eggs in one basket. So what I'll be looking for, three things. One, a confluence or a combination of indicators. Two, make sure I have a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2-to-1. And three, make sure I don't have too many correlated positions. So I'll go through the list. If I find something that meets my criteria, all three of those criteria, I'll go ahead and purchase it near the end of the day. And then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to clarify anything that I discussed. If you would like me to look at any particular stock symbols, I'm happy to do that. Don't be shy. Just go ahead, put them in the chat. And if you think there's something that might be helpful or useful for the group that you'd like to get my opinion on before the market closes on a particular symbol, just go ahead, put it in, put a star by it so I know it's time sensitive, and I'll do my best to get to it and break down that chart before the end of the day. So that is the plan. So, all right, sound good? Well, listen, I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, so I'll be back in about 40 seconds, so hang tight, please. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let me make sure my microphone's on. All right. Hey, David, Gamer Squad, how you doing, bud? Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Always nice to see you. Amon Solo, hello, my friend. Good to see you, and thanks for coming by. You're having a good day today, buddy. Good to see that. Mount Doji says, you demand, Greg. Told all my friends here on vacation about your great work and lifelong lessons you teach. Ah, thanks, bud. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. So I'm getting represented in Costa Rica a little bit. That sounds good. I may move there one day. Lolly, what's going on? Hey, my friend, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it. Lolly says, hi, friends, and happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing well, Lolly. And please say hello to Earl. Earl is Lolly's dog. Steve Burns, hey buddy, good to see you. Nice to have you here. As always an honor and privilege. I say it every day, but I really sincerely mean it, Steve. Thank you so much for coming. It's always excited to have you here and be able to bounce stuff off you. I mean, it's a big deal, so I really appreciate it, and I know everyone else does. Steve says, nice move on my Etsy position. Very nice move. We have Etsy as well, so I'm going to go over that in a second. Hey, Dr. Long, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Marco, hey, buddy. How you doing? Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good evening in Slovenia, and hope everything is well there. And if there's anything I can help you with today, you please let me know. Mr. Clarence Beeks from Trading Places. How you doing? That's Jesse. Good to see you, bud. It says, hey, Greg and gang, thanks again for the intro into options. You are welcome. Jesse and I had a little class last night on options, so I've had quite a few people lately wanting to know a little bit more about options. So hope that helped, bud. Appreciate that. Frank, hey, how you doing? No, we have another poem. This is great. Frank, you know, you're setting a standard here where you have to come up with a poem every day. If I had to come up with a poem every day, I'd be out of luck. But I know Frank's a good writer, so thank you. Let's take a look and see what it says. Discipline and rules make them your ball and chain. For unlike a prisoner, they'll free a traitor from too much loss or pain. Man, how do you do better than that? Boy, you have a gift for words, Frank. What a writer. What a poem writer. That's great. Thank you so much. I'm going to post that later on Twitter if you don't mind, but that's wonderful. Let's read it again. Discipline and rules make them your ball and chain. For unlike a prisoner, they'll free a traitor from too much loss or pain. And you know, this is a good point right here, Frank. I mean, Frank's poem brings up a good idea. You know, when you were a kid and you had all these rules and you're like, I don't want to follow these rules. I mean, of course, your parents had those rules. They're really for your own good, right? And in trading, you want to have a lot of rules, not because you want to be constricted, you know. You have the rules to protect you. So that's what Frank is saying there, you know, make them your ball and chain. Yeah, sometimes they're a pain, but they're there to keep you out of loss and pain. So thanks for that. Marco says, Steve, Etsy, great. Etsy is good. Hey, Christopher, nice to see you. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good evening there in the UK in Leeds. Thank you for coming. Steve says, thanks, Marco. Pat O'Connell. Hey, Pat, good to see you. Pat says, hi, everyone. Steve says, Frank, you are the trading poet. I'm telling you, Steve, he is the trading poet. He should come up with a book of trading poems, little coffee table book. Toby Petty, hey, good to see you. Toby says, good one, Frank. They're unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. I've got a copy of this right now so I can put it in my little note thingy so I can post this later. I'll tell you what, people on Twitter like these posts, Frank, and for good reason. They're good. That's why. Okay. All right, everybody ready? Let's do it. All right. So Etsy. I did buy Etsy back here on the 3rd of January. I bought it when the 10 SMA crossed over the 50 SMA. This is a good back-tested approach to trading Etsy. Doesn't mean every single crossover is going to be positive, but what it does set you up for, it sets you up the possibility if you're wrong pretty quick and pretty small. If you're right, you have the ability to make 2 or 3 or 4 times what your loss was. And that is, when it comes to profitable trading, that's what you need. Small losses and potential for big wins, right? And that's what these moving average crossovers allow you to do. So on Etsy now, this is a stock. So when I trade a stock with a crossover, I use the entry, the 1050 entry in this case, as my entry signal. Doesn't mean I'm just going to hang out and wait until it either hits the 70 RSI or it closes below both. I guess I should talk about the stop first. Stop first is if the price here closes below the 10 and the 50 at the same time, right? Let's always focus, whenever we're looking at a chart, someone wants you to break it down, make it a habit of saying, well, my stop is this, because that's the most important thing. That's number one priority. We did move up more than 1 ATR away from my entry. Once it's gone above full 1 ATR from my entry, now I will start instituting a trailing stop. So before, it was a close below both the 10 and the 50, but now it's moved up to the point where I don't want to give this all back. If we have a close below the previous day's low, that will be my reason to get out. If it continues to move up, I'll continue to phase out. My target here is a 70 RSI. And if we reject that, I'll go ahead and get out. If we go through it and hold above it, I will hold it until that. A little concerning today, we had this previous high over here. See how today we went above the high and now we are actually below it. It's a bit of a red flag. I am in trailing stop mode, so I'm probably going to go ahead and just keep this. We've made a higher high than yesterday. We've made a higher low than yesterday, and it's up 2.34%. And I did hit 2 profit targets today, so who knows? Maybe we'll get that third one up there. So anyway, so far so good. This has been a really nice trade. All right, the SPY, the famous SPY trade. So listen, I do buy the SPY every day at the end of the day, and I sell it first thing the next morning, regardless of where the technicals are, regardless of where the support and resistance are. And you might ask yourself, why would you do such a thing? Well, it's based upon this back test. It's a long-term back test from 1993 from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest on Twitter. But this back test tests 2 different approaches. The first approach is buying the SPY at the open each day, selling it at the close each day. Buy the open, sell the close, buy the open, sell the close. If you would have used this approach every single day from 1993, you would have had a negative 13.9% return. However, if you did the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close each day and sell the next morning, if you did this from every day since 1993, buy the close, sell the next morning, buy the close, sell the next morning, you would have had a 634.2% return. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. I love this chart. It shows you if you have an edge in your trading approach, what it can look like if you have the ability to stay in and use that approach over a long term. And you can see it's the blue line, the buy in the afternoon, sell in the morning, drastically outperformed buying in the morning, sell in the afternoon. So I do buy the SPY every single day at the close, sell the next morning. There are ups and downs with this approach. It obviously doesn't always go up. In 2019, it was a great year for me using this approach. Although in May, I think I lost 80% of all my trades, my overnight SPY trades. But that was just one month. Then the next month was great. But all in all, for the year, it was exceptionally good. But you can't expect any trading approach to always work. You're going to have ups and downs. So with that being said, 2020 has been not an up and down for me. It's been a down for me. So a few days ago, I bought here, got hammered on the open. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, bought here, got hammered on the open. Bought yesterday at 323.64, sold today at 323.02. So I lost 62 cents overnight. So the losses are getting smaller, which is good, but it's been a long time since I've had 3 losses in a row on this. But they're to be expected. You can't go, oh, I'm done with this, right? So the important part is that you position size correctly so that if you do get a whomper like we've had the last couple days, it's not significant, If you loaded up and did this on the last few days, you're probably thinking like, this is the worst thing ever. I'm not going to use this anymore. Then it might just take off and go for a month, right? So it's important to use a position size that you're comfortable with, right? That's not going to make you too crazy excited if you win, too depressed and down in the dumps if you lose. Remember, we're doing this for the long term. We're doing it for the long term. So you have to calibrate the amount of shares that you have on any trade so that you can stay with it. It's, if the music's too loud, you got to turn it down, right? And in stock trading, if the emotions are too loud, you got to turn down that position size knob, right? And that will help you make it through and trade for the long term instead of just getting excited for 1 or 2 days or getting really depressed 1 or 2 days. So anyway, another loss overnight on SPY. I will be buying this again at the end of the day. All right, well, Walmart I did buy Walmart yesterday here at 117.58. We thoroughly rejected the 100-day moving average, closed back above, which was a good sign. That was one reason that I bought it. Second reason that I bought it is, look back in time and see which moving average really has acted as support. And if we go back in time, you can see the 100-day definitely did hold support last year. Doesn't mean it's going to hold it this time, but it puts your odds in puts the odds in your favor that if the last time it held it, there's a good chance it will hold it this time. Well, and actually, I can't remember who pointed this out yesterday, but yesterday at the close held the low of this previous range, which was really good. Which was really good to notice that. I didn't notice that, but that actually gave you 3 reasons to buy it. Well, great setup. Everything looked fine, but it didn't work, right? Didn't work. We lost the 100 a day. I will be selling this today. It's down about 0.88%, so less than 1%, well off of its lows, which is good. But, you have a loss, you just take it. That's it. You just have a loss and you just take it. It stings a bit. You forget about it and you just go on to the next trade, right? Losses are part of the deal. They are part of the deal. So get used to them. Embrace them if you have to, right? So unless we have a miraculous close and this closes back above the 100 day today, I will be getting out of this. So anyway, that was kind of a bummer, but it's one of those things where lost a little bit on SPY overnight, lost 0.88% on Walmart, but made 2.41% on Etsy, which makes it a positive day. So that's how it goes. That's how it goes. So I'm very, very, very grateful for that. So, all right, let's take a look here. Alan's here. Good to see Alan. He says, hi, everyone. Hi, Alan. Nice to have you. Man Solo. Nice V2 on KMX today. Okay, we will look at that in a second for sure, Man Solo. Steve says, Frank says, I'm honored, Steve. Bing He, hey buddy, good to see you, my friend. That's our friend from Singapore. Now, let's go through current positions of the people in the group. Mount Doji took this trade right here back on the 3rd of January. Pretty volatile, but up nice today, up 3.13%. So Mount Doji, if you're listening, let me know how you end up managing this trade, if you're in it or if you get out, just so I can mark it up here. So nice job, Mount Doji. Man Solo had this really nice trade back here on the 19th of December. We had a V1. Here's day 1. Day 2 washes out day 1, higher low V1, and we bounced off the 200, which was nice. Moved up, moved up, moved up, moved up. Man Solo was waiting for a close below the previous day's low or a close below the 100 day, so I imagine that kept him in, and he's having a nice day today. So this is a really nice trade. I mean, so far, this is about a 2.7% return from his entry, so nice going there. FedEx, a man Solo also bought this higher low V1, 2 days down, higher low V1, moved up real strong the next day. A couple days after that, it kind of moved back around. Now we are back up. So this has been a nice trade so far for a Man Solo as well. Man Solo has some nice trades, I'll tell you that. That's up about 2.35%. So nice going on that. And let me know how you're going to handle that trade. Alan, look at this, everybody. Alan bought Boeing here. Was a V2. Honestly, I would not have taken this because of the gap, but I'm really glad that it went, and also closed above the 10-day, so that's nice. Moved sideways for a couple days, and today it's had a big move up. I think there was some news out today. It looks like Warren Buffett may be interested in starting a position in Boeing. One thing I would point out here, I don't know what Alan's plan is, but if I had bought this here, I most likely would have gotten out today. The blue line is the 50 RSI. You can see we went above it. Now we're below it. If I had this position and it closed under 49, I'd probably just lock in the gains. If it closes above 50, I would hold it. But nice trade there, Alan. And then Alan also has he bought CarMax back here on the 2nd of January. went immediately down, but today it looks pretty good. We have a V2. Here's day one. Here's day two. Day two washes out day one. Day three, which is today, looks like it's going to close above day one's close. And we also had a false break to the downside. Here's the previous range. Yesterday we poked our head down, went back up. Today we're up. So this is looking, this is looking pretty good. So it looks like you're still a little underwater on the trade, but I think it's moving the right way. And then Bing He, so Bing He yesterday bought ATSG, nice bullish engulfing bar here. V1 closed over all the moving averages. Today it was down much lower, unfortunately. Looks like it is possibly going to lose the 50 RSI here today. This is a tough one. Two options here. You could just get out with a close under the 50, or you could get out with the close under halfway the washout bar, which is about right here. So, Bing He says my stop loss is 23.29. Oh, okay. So pretty close there. Pretty close there, but that makes sense to me. It's the halfway of the washout bar. We did have some volume coming in yesterday. How does this look on the weekly? Weekly's okay. It's in the value zone. Monthly, that's okay. So anyway, let me know how you manage that trade, Bing He. Like to keep track of that. But yeah, you guys are having some good trades all around. Hey, Dirk, good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for coming. Nice to have you here. Christopher says, Steve, Greg, within TrendSpider, is there a candle pattern that represents the V1, V2 pattern? That I don't know, Chris. I don't know if Steve does, but I'm not familiar with with TrendSpider. Is there a candle pattern that represents the V1? Are you talking about a study that shows it, or are you talking about looking for a V1, V2 using candles instead of bars? Alan says, I'm gonna hold BA to see if it can break above the 50 RSI tomorrow. Okay. Nice move today, though. Let's hope it just gets up there today. That would be nice as well, right? Okay. Clean some of this stuff up here. All right, so Walmart. Make sure I have this in. Yeah. So I have Walmart in to sell at the close of the day. And then, all right. All right. All right, so listen, everybody, this is the time of the day where I do like to talk about trading psychology and share some good trading words of wisdom, some good posts from people on Twitter and Facebook. There's some really great channels out there. They spend a lot of time and effort putting out these sayings, memes, words of wisdom, and I really appreciate them doing that because they, psychology and these kind of things are so important, and it's nice to know that people are out there like Steve and Julian Komar, who I'm going to talk about today, that take the time and energy to post these for our benefit. But this is from Julian Komar at blog Julian Komar on Twitter. If you have not subscribed to him on Twitter, I would suggest it. He has a great channel. He has good trading words of wisdom that he posts every day, and I think if you read them every day, it's going to help your trading. But Julian says, oh, and by the way, I was directed to this by Jesse. Jesse emailed this or messaged this to me, and he didn't ask me to share it, but I'm going to share it because it is really good. So overrated things and underrated things. Overrated, number of screens. That's true. When I was a young trader, I had all these screens. It was embarrassing. It looked like the Starship Enterprise. For all the years since, I've just traded with one screen. I have two screens now, but that's because of the podcast. But I don't have to look at a million different things at once. Fancy indicators. There are so many different indicators out there. It's unbelievable. You could fit more indicators on your chart where you couldn't even see what was going on. So it's not about indicators. I mean, of course, I use indicators as a guidepost, but some people have so many indicators, they call it jewelry. There's indicators about, when there's a full moon and what that's supposed to do with the market. I don't know if that works. I kind of doubt it, but who knows? But so far, overrated number of screens, fancy indicators, trading fees. That's definitely overrated. Now it's nice that we have almost zero commissions in the United States everywhere. High frequency traders and algorithms are also overtraded, and charting software. Well, this one, I kind of would be lost without my charting software, right? But so overrated number of screens, fancy indicators, trading fees, high frequency traders and algos, and charting softwares. Underrated mindset work. All right, so this is where we get into the meat of it. Mindset work is so important, and it circles back to having discipline, following your plan. Mindset work, working with a mentor. It sounds a little self-serving because I am a mentor, but guys, it is important. I mean, think about any athlete out there in any sport. They always have a coach. LeBron James has a coach, right? Every sports figure out there has a coach or music person or so forth. And trading, in my opinion, you need a coach more than about anything. So, working with a mentor, working with the coach is underrated. Simplicity and robustness, that's right. Make sure your trading approach is simple and it's robust. In case you don't know what robust means in regards to trading, it means that if you have a good trading approach, it should work on any stock, any commodity, any forex, and also on any time frame. Long-term view, I talk about this a lot. I trade for the long term, just like people understand long-term investing, but do they understand long-term trading? I've met very few traders that actually have that mindset that I'm going to be a long-term trader. If they did, if more people had the mindset of being a long-term trader, there would be far fewer people that blow up their account like they do now because they're not taking the long view. So each trade is just the next one trade of the next 1,000 trades. Position size correctly. You shouldn't get too emotionally excited or depressed on any one trade. Trade for the long term. Following a clear process. Well, I'll talk about this a lot as well. You have to have a plan. You have to have if-then statements. If this happens, I'm going to do that. If that happens, I'm going to do this, and stick with it. So anyway, I thought this was good for the overrated and underrated parts of trading, and thanks to Julian Komar for putting this out. It's a great post. And if you haven't followed him, it's at blog Julian Komar on Twitter. But thank you for that, and thank you to Jesse for pointing that out to me. Hey, John, good to see you. John says, sort of V-type candles, 3 outside up, Morningstar maybe. Sort of V-type candles, 3 outside up. Which stock are we talking about there, John? Steve says, there's probably not a V1, V2 filter in TrendSpider as they only program traditional candle patterns. I see. Yeah, Chris, I think what you need to be able to do is just be able to look at the charts and see whether or not they're V1s or V2s. If you practice at it, it's pretty easy, actually. He says, I think I will keep ATSG if it holds above 23.29. Yeah, it's right there right now. I think that's a good line in the sand, because otherwise it will lose halfway of this. Was thinking Morningstar was closest. Glenn Dim 2. Hey, how you doing, Glenn? Thank you for coming. Glenn says, hi, newbie here, looking to open a position in gold. All right. So, look, this is just my opinion, Glenn. Of course, you do whatever you need to do. But, the way that I view trading is, you see this line here, this is the third ATR channel. Under here is the negative third ATR channel. 90% of prices stay under the third and over the negative third. 90% of prices stay here. When you get over the third ATR channel, obviously it's extremely strong, but I don't really like to buy anywhere up there. I consider it overvalued. I want to buy a dip. So me personally, I wouldn't buy gold here. But it doesn't mean it can't go up. Just make sure, Glenn, that if you do buy gold, here, just make sure you have some kind of plan. You know, if I lose 5% on the trade, I'm going to get out, or if I lose 2%, something like that. But my honest opinion is I would wait for some kind of dip before I bought it. But I don't want to suggest that to you because it might go, up for the next 5 years. And you'd be like, damn, Greg didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. Now it took off. But that's just my opinion. Of course, you have to come up with your own process and your own plan. But my suggestion would be, regardless of where you buy it, make sure that you have, some kind of plan, some kind of stop in place. So I hope that helps. Okay, guys, give me 1 second. Katie hears me talk and she thinks that's her cue to go out. Give me about 20 seconds. Okay, sorry about that. She has all morning to go out. She doesn't do it. Then as soon as I start doing the podcast, boop, I need some attention from Dad. All right. So let's go here through the charts and see if anything's happening. He says, Kara looks interesting. Rejected 30 RA. MACD divergence. I don't like the bearish candle. We'll let this trade go unless it closes above open today. All right, well, let's take a look. CARA. Yeah. Well, you are right. This is one heck of a divergence, everybody. Here we have a low. We rally, we get some green. We are lower now. We have a massive bullish double bottom with a bullish divergence. We did bounce off the 30. That would be a legitimate signal. I'm not going to buy this because I don't like $15 stocks. But I don't know. I would, me personally, if this was a different kind of stock here, I would probably buy this because it did reject the 30. It already told you today it tried to go underneath the 30 RSI and did not like it. It held support of the last couple of days as well, and you have a bullish MACD divergence here. And your risk to reward's great. If you're wrong small. If you're right, you could be right up to 50. But I do like that one, honestly. All right. So Apple. Apple is just too high here. It's really battling with the 300-day. The $300 price. It's tried a couple times here and failed. Glenn, Dem 2, same thing here. See how it's above the third ATR channel? I need to wait for Apple to come back at least into the value zone. The value zone's between this green line and this green line. This is the 1 ATR channel. This is the negative 1 ATR channel. So somewhere in here is where I would be looking to buy a dip on Apple. I wouldn't buy Apple up here. It's just too high. It doesn't offer a good risk to reward ratio. Adobe, same thing. We're way above the 1 ATR channel. We're under the third, but still too high. I want to see it move back into the value zone between this green line and this green line is considered the value zone. I want to see it come down into the value zone, then hold support, move sideways, look for a V1 or a V2 entry. So essentially buying the dip. Amazon up today. It's been all over the place up here, but as with a lot of stocks, we're above the third ATR channel. I want to see it come back into the value zone, or at the very least, bounce off of the 200-day. The 200-day often gives good support, and if you could buy it near the 200-day, then any close below the 200-day, you would get out with a small loss. But if you're right, you might be able to go all the way back up here. Boeing, very, very strong. Glad to see that for Alan. It's a 48.92. So like I said, if I had bought this and it closed under the 50, I would go ahead and sell it, but that's just my process. Doesn't mean it's the right process, but really glad to see that moving up nicely for you, Alan. Berkshire Hathaway. All right. So, Glenn, in the previous days, we were above the third ATR channel. I would be waiting for it to come back into the value zone. Well, now we're back in the value zone, right? Better to buy here than up here, but it still hasn't done what I needed to do. It's come into the value zone. It has held nicely and sideways for a couple days. Now I need a bar that goes down and immediately reverses back up. That's what I call a V1 or a V2. So we were above the value zone. We're back in the value zone. We have held steady for a couple days. Now I just need a V1 or a V2 trigger to get me long. Look at this, everybody. Holy smokes. I guess I should have held on to Beyond Meat a little bit longer. It's up almost 12%. Well, any of you had Beyond Meat, congratulations. This is a monster move, but I mean, we're getting up to the third ATR channel. I cannot buy it up here, unfortunately, but I did have a couple good trades on Beyond Meat, but nothing like this. So if any of you have Beyond Meat, nice job. Caterpillar. Okay, so here we go. We're above the 1 ATR channel. We've come back into the channel. We've gone down, down. So we're in the channel, which is good, but now I need it to stop going down. I need it to start moving sideways for a minimum of 2 days, then have one try to the downside that reverses and goes back up. That would be my trigger. So there's the setup and there's the trigger. The setup is 1, we were above the 1 ATR channel. 2, we come into the value zone. That's step number 2. Step number 3, we need to move sideways. Step number 4, look for the V1 or V2. So we only step 2. Step 1 above the 1 ATR channel. Step 2 in the value zone. Now we need step 3 to move sideways. Step 4 for a V1 or a V2. The Dow, same thing. Above the 1 ATR channel, needed to come back into the value zone. Sideways movement, V1, V2. Walt Disney, I was looking for a higher low V1 on Walt Disney. Earlier we had it. See, here's day 1, day 2, washes out day 1, day 3, which is today, was above day 1's close at one point, but I have to have it close above. So nothing on Disney anymore. Etsy, doing great. Of course, we talked about that. It's moved more than 1 ATR away from my entry. Have hit 2 profit targets today, has moved above. I will institute a trailing stop now that we're 1 ATR above my entry. So if we close below the previous day's low, I will get out. Otherwise, I'll continue to ride it. I'll continue to phase out to the upside and see how it reacts around the 70 RSI. Facebook, very strong. Almost tagged that third ATR, just too high for me. Needed to come back into the value zone, move sideways, V1, V2. Gold, I just talked about that for Glenn. The way that I view gold is just overextended here. I did buy gold back here, back on the 13th of December when we had the 5 EMA cross over the 20 EMA. This is a good back-tested approach to buying gold. Doesn't mean it's going to be a profitable trade, but if you're wrong, you're probably going to be wrong small. And if you're right, you have the possibility for a nice big move, which fortunately we had. We bought it here. And it moved up nicely, and I phased out here. So going forward, either a pullback into the value zone, I know that seems a long way away, or the 5 EMA crossing under the 20 EMA and then crossing back over like it did here. Google, big, huge day yesterday. It's having problems with the third ATR channel 2 days in a row. I would need to pull back into the value zone. Goldman Sachs, strong day. You can see 90% of prices have issues at the third ATR channel like they did here and like they did here. So nothing on Goldman Sachs, need a pullback. Home Depot, we were above the 1 ATR channel. We made a lower high. We washed out the previous low. We're moving sideways, moving sideways. This is all good. We just need a stab to the downside, take out this range or take out the previous day's low and reverse back up. So this one is somewhat setting up. The setup's starting to set up, but the trigger is not there. I believe Dr. Long bought this, was short IBB on puts, and then I think he covered. I'm not sure if he went long or if he covered. Now, I can't remember. But nothing here now. Now we close under the 1 ATR channel. Now I need it to move back up into the value zone, have a couple days down, and then a higher low V1 too as my entry trigger. Intel, this is looking good above the 1 ATR channel. Now I need it to come back in the value zone. Are we in the value zone? Yes, we are. But now I need it to stop moving down sideways. Look for a V1, V2. Russell, perfect. Above the 1 ATR channel, came back into the value zone. Do we have a couple days of sideways? We sure do. Now I need a trigger, entry trigger, V1, V2. So nothing there, but it's starting to shape up. Johnson & Johnson, beautiful V1. We came back into the value zone, but the problem is we only moved sideways for 1 day. See, we came down, 1 day sideways movement, and then one heck of a V1 for sure. But the way that I trade, my trigger is, or my filter is, I need 2 days sidewards. This is just 1 day. So I mean, this isn't bad, but I'm not going to take it for that reason. CarMax, Alan has that, doing fine. Coca-Cola, into the value, we were above the value zone, come into the value zone, needed to go sideways a little bit more and then have a V1, V2. Lockheed Martin, very strong, but it's overextended above the 3rd ATR channel. Need to pull back into value. MasterCard, just too high here. Need to pull back into value. How am I doing on time? McDonald's above the 200, which is strong, but it's too high. It's too high in the channel. It's almost at the 3rd ATR. Merck, whew, I mean, we're in the value zone, right? But barely holding it. But again, couple days sidewards movement. V1, V2 entry. Microsoft, too high, need to pull back into value. Netflix, Netflix holding above the 200-day, which is good, but it's just too high. We're up here at the 2nd ATR channel, almost to the 3rd. Nike, we had a false breakout to the upside today and then reversed back under. We also earlier lost the 70 RSI. But nothing there. Philip Morris, I was going to take this one yesterday. We were above the 1 ATR channel, came in sideways, then had this nice V1, but the V1 ended above the 1 ATR channel. So I don't want to buy up here. I don't buy higher than 3/4 from here to here. So about here would be my maximum. So, you know, my filter kept me out of this trade. It would have been a good trade, but that's okay. I follow the rules. PayPal, big reversal to the downside, V1 to the downside. So that's not bullish in any way, shape, or form. But for me to get interested in PayPal, maybe if we move back down to the 200, move sideways, V1, V2, something like that. Qs, attempting to make new highs here, too high, pull back into value. Silver, up nicely today, but just too extended. We're near the 6th ATR channel. I did get into silver back here in the value zone when the 5 EMA crossed over the 20 and had a beautiful trade. Boom, 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 boom. Right to there, I ran out of shares. So I haven't been in it since here, but I got the meat of the move right here. S&P 500, of course, the overnight SPY trade was a little bit of a loser. Going to be buying that again today. Bonds, we closed above the 1 ATR channel. Now we've come back into the value zone. Have we moved sideways? No, we went down. So if we could hold sideways for a couple days here, V1, V2, that's what I'd be looking for. Tesla is just the unbelievable short killer. Man, if you shorted here and thought that was the top, how could you get out here? How could you get out here? How could you get out here or here? So make sure you have a plan when you get into something and don't get stubborn, because the shorts that are stubborn on Tesla are just getting absolutely annihilated. But if any of you are long Tesla, congratulations. Twitter, we were above the 1 ATR channel. We came into the value zone. We moved sideways for, well, we didn't really move sideways. It was just 1 day down and up. So no sideways movement, so I didn't take anything here. United Healthcare, this is looking good, above the 1 ATR channel, into the value zone, couple days sideways movement. This is looking really good. Now I would look for a V1 or V2 entry. All the ingredients are there, above the 1 ATR channel, into the value zone, sideways movement. This is what we're looking for. And looking for a V1 or a V2 entry to get into the long side. Oil, just too high. Need to pull back into value. VIX down again today. Nothing there. Verizon, we were above the 1 ATR channel, came into the value zone, couldn't hold, down, 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 down. Looks like it did hold support at the 100-day moving average, but that's not enough right now. How's our Walmart doing? All right, so I did buy Walmart with the rejection of the 100, and the 100 did hold support in the past. Unfortunately, does not look like it's going to hold today, so I have an order in to sell this, right? We're going to have a lot of losses. That's just part of trading. I just put the order in. It's going to sell. I'll forget about it in a day, and that's it. Although I will look, we're at a 3274 RSI, so I may be revisiting Walmart maybe tomorrow. If we go under 30, back over 30, I would take another shot at it. Energy, nothing on energy. Financial select, we were above the 1 ATR channel, into the value zone. We've held and held. So if we could get a V1 or V2 in the coming days, I would buy that, but not today. Real estate, just not doing very well here, so nothing there. Utilities, now look, everyone, this is a great example. We were above the 1 ATR channel, but we had a lower high than here. So if we have here, we have a lower high than here, then we need to wash out this previous low, which we did. Are we back in the value zone? Yes. Have we moved sideways for at least a couple days? Yes, we have. So today, if today actually formed a V1, I would buy it. Or tomorrow, if we have a V2, I would buy it. So let's see. I don't think that's going to trigger today, but we can watch that. And then healthcare above the 1 ATR channel. Remember, I said wait till it comes back into the value zone. If you would have bought up here, look where you'd be. Better to buy it here in value or below value than above value. So this is setting up as well if I could get a V1 or a V2 entry. So honestly, I don't see anything. So I am selling Walmart at the day. I am buying SPY at the end of the day. Let's see. Glenn says, looking to buy gold on any pullback to 1430. 143, I mean. Yeah, good. Well, that's much better than up here. 38.2% fib retracement, stop 140, target 160 with a risk of 4-1. Perfect, Glenn. You have a plan. That's what's important. He knows where the stop's going to be. He knows where risk reward's going to be. Perfect. I'm glad to hear that. Mansola says, Greg, a bounce off an upward sloping 200-day is stronger than a bounce off a downward sloping. That is correct. 100% correct, Mansola. Dr. Long says, I covered Friday. Okay, so he covered IBB. Dr. Long says, I'm still long AGQ. Oh, that's good because that's double leverage silver. Very nice. Selling stops above 34.05. All right, nice going. Nice going. But, you know, whenever you have sideways movement, that's where you like to buy in consolidation, because from consolidation comes big moves. From big moves comes consolidation again. So very nice trade. Mansola says, ODT has a good history of bouncing off upward sloping 200 days weekly, making higher highs. Let's take a look. ODT. Oh. ODT. I don't have ODT. ODT. Yeah, I don't have ODT. Did you maybe put that in wrong? Is it the other way around, OTD or something? Because I don't have that to look at, Mansola. ODT could do Walmart. Christopher says, Tesla short sellers have lost $8 billion over the past 7 months as shares in Elon Musk company go up 150%. Well, look, I'm not saying you can't short. I'm not saying you can't buy. Just make sure you have a plan. Make sure you have a maximum loss so that you don't get into something like that. Christopher Hitchens says, moral of the story, have stop losses. Yes, 100%, right? That's the moral of the story. Stop losses are part of a plan. You need a plan, but then you need to follow the plan. right? All right. ODT is correct. Did you check KMX? Yeah, I have KMX here. CarMax. But I do not have ODT. No, if I put in ODT, it pulls up OEC. So I don't have that one, unfortunately. Take a look real quick on Walmart. All right. Hey, Jesse, if you're out there, when Jesse and I were talking about options last night, we were talking about, okay, you know, I took this trade on Walmart yesterday, and we talked about how you could express the trade not in shares but in options if you wanted to buy an option on it, maybe sell a call above it, so it's called a bear spread. But just for fun, we said, okay, if we bought it at the end of the day, the 117 January 17 $117 calls were priced at $162, or $1.62 times 100, $162. Right now they're 96 cents by 98 cents. So in this case, if you would have bought options here instead of shares, and you bought one contract, $117, it was like an at the money option, you would have had to sell the option today. Would you have lost your whole 162? No, you wouldn't have. It's about, it's close to $1, 97 cents by a dollar. So, you know, yeah, you would have lost $62, but that is how you would have expressed. So does that make sense, Jess, if you're listening? All right, so Etsy is off of its high a little bit. Did hit 2 profit targets there, so very happy for that. SPY looks like it's lower than we sold it earlier today, so I will be buying this again at the day. And Walmart rallying pretty nice. That's good. I mean, that turns a 10-yard loss into a, you know, 7-yard loss or something, but still nice, profitable day, and very grateful for that. Bing He says ATSG doesn't look good. We'll put in a market on close order to exit. Yeah, it looks like it's losing the halfway mark, doesn't it? Ooh, Apple's down $1.69. What do I think of KMX V2? Well, is it a V2? The close here was 87.26, and now it's at 87.22. So technically it's not a V2, a man solo, right? Because right now we are not closed above day one's close. In order to be a valid V2, it has to confirm or close above. And right now it's not there. The close there is 87.70. Oh, we have two minutes. All right, so let me clean this up here. Boom, that's done. So I'm keeping Etsy, selling Walmart at the end of the day. So, and then I will be buying SPY. So I'm just going to have SPY and Etsy. That's all I'm going to have left. Dr. Long says, I was long Tesla, got out so long ago. Oh, bummer. Jesse says, it does. Thanks, Greg. Walmart options started pursuing option chains today on Thinkorswim. Oh, good. Good. If I can help you, bud, let me know. And hey, Jesse, I got your email. Thank you so much for that, my friend. That was really nice. You honestly did not have to do that. You know that, right? I was just trying to help you out, my friend, as a friend, right? And as a student, but I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Bing He says, sold ATSG. Okay. All right. So no new positions today whatsoever, other than the overnight SPY trade. That's it. And we have about 20 seconds. Yeah. All the indexes went red. Okay, so that's it. That's it. So I got out of Walmart. So Walmart is gone. But look, not every trade's a winner, right? I analyzed what was happening, analyzed the rejection of the 100. I analyzed that it held support nicely the last time it was at the 100. Held support here at yesterday right here at this previous low, but it broke down, right? And that's all you can do is just go ahead, take your loss. It's a small loss. It's less than a 1% loss, right? Which is no fun, but most of my losses, I'm happy to keep them at 1%. If I can, on my winners, I make 2% or 3%. See what I mean? So this is just about normal, but I will be watching this tomorrow. If we can go under 30, over 30, under the negative third ATR channel, over the third ATR channel. Remember, 90% of prices usually hold support at this negative third ATR channel. But it's even better if we go under the third ATR channel back over. At the same time, we go under the 30 RSI back over. Remember at the beginning of the show, I was talking about waiting for a confluence of buyers. Well, there are going to be buyers that trigger just off of a rejection of the third ATR channel. There are going to be buyers that are going to trigger off just a rejection of the 30 RS. Sorry, there are going to be buyers that get in and look to buy if it goes under the third ATR channel and back over. There's also another group of buyers that's looking to get in if we go under the 30 RSI, back over the 30 RSI. So if we do both of those things tomorrow, we essentially have two new groups of buyers. And like I said, in order to put yourself in the position to have the best chance of making money to the upside, you have to be with as many groups of buyers as possible. And I base my theory of groups of buyers getting in as triggers for indicators like under the third, back over the third, under the 30, over the 30. So anyway, losing trade, that's all there is to it. That's fine. And we'll just get on to the next trade, right? So I'm just glad we didn't close at the very low. But that was our stinker, right? But Etsy is our champion. It's up 2.12%, right? So that makes up for that one and more. Now SPY, we did have the little overnight SPY loss, and then I bought SPY today at 322.73. $322.73. So that's the new SPY. Yeah, SPY trade's been a little challenging this year so far. I mean, it's obviously early in the year, but it doesn't work all the time, everybody. But over time, it seems to work. So that's the key. So Etsy, nice. Going to use a trailing stop, close below the previous day's low, or if I reject the 70 to the upside, and then SPY, the overnight SPY trade. So that's it. But green day, grateful for that, especially on a day when all the indexes are down. All right. So listen, before I read the rest of the comments or questions, and if you have them, go ahead and put them in there. I need to do my quick little daily plug. I hope that's okay with you. But I do want to let everybody know that I do offer private one-on-one coaching, teaching, and mentoring lessons in the evening time via Skype. I really enjoy teaching. I've had really good success with my clients. I do have a course available. It's one-on-one. There's 5 sessions, each session somewhere between 2 and 3 hours. And I teach you and show you everything I've learned over the last 24 years as a full-time trader. I teach you everything I've learned from all of my coaches and mentors over the years, and then everything I've developed myself. But, it's a pretty intense course. I teach you all 4 of my trading approaches. We talk about trading psychology, position size, all this kind of stuff. But I don't just teach it and have you go, okay, right? I teach it, and then I have you really teach it back to me. Every class we have, every session we have, I'm going to teach first, then I'm going to have you teach it back to me. We're going to do a lot of chart study. I'm going to have you break down the charts. Tell me what's good here. Tell me what's bad. What's the risk to reward ratio like? What's your next trade like? Are we too correlated? all this kind of stuff. So that's what I do. And I think if you take the course, I really do think you will come away from it with a much better understanding of the markets. And, it is $1,000, so it does sound like a lot of money, but I think you get an extreme amount of value for that $1,000, the time spent and the one-on-one. And I'm sure, hopefully after your lessons, you'll make that back. At the very least, you won't lose that, right? But honestly, I think you're going to do just fine. I mean, I trade for a living, and I teach you everything that I do. So anyway, if you're interested, it does start off with it's just a free Skype call. I just like to do a little interview of you. You can do a little interview of me. I just want to make sure we're a good fit as far as student and teacher goes. I'd like to know more about you, your trading background, your challenges, what you'd like to achieve. And then if we decide we're a good fit to each other, then I'll put together a lesson plan to help you achieve those goals. So my email is in the description of this video. You can also reach out to me on Twitter. But, if you'd like to schedule the free Skype call, please let me know. I enjoy those Skype calls. I like to meet people here from the group. And whether you become a client or a student or not, it doesn't matter. But if you're interested, please let me know, okay? All right. Oh, and I forgot to ask if you could hit the thumbs up button. I'd appreciate that as well. It helps YouTube know that there's some valuable content, and it helps promote the channel. And there's a lot of people out there, everyone, that needs help with trading. And I think if we could get them to this channel, I think it would really help their trading. I mean, I get a lot of letters from people that say, I'm really glad I found the channel. My trading is getting better, because following your principles and so forth. So there's a lot of people out there that need help. So if you could hit the thumbs up button on your way out, I would appreciate it. Okay. Andrea is lurking. Lurk. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. If you have any questions for me, Andrea, please let me know. Joshua Kaufman, hey buddy, what's going on? I closed Walmart too. We did try, Josh. We tried. We gave it the old college try, didn't we? But didn't work out. But as I was mentioning, there may be a round 2 on Walmart. It's at 32.91 RSI. We're getting close to the -3rd ATR channel. We should have some kind of support here on the -3rd. We should have some kind of support at the 30 RSI. We're still in the value zone on the weekly, so I wouldn't be surprised if I take another shot at Walmart if we can reject the 30 RSI and back over. Jesse says, anytime, my friend, thank you. Least I could do for your pain of teaching someone options from scratch. I'll tell you what, teaching options is, there's so many things to options. There's so many approaches to options. Just teaching it from scratch is a little difficult, right? Because you never really quite, I knew where to begin. I feel like I want to have that person like sitting in a classroom and a chalkboard up there, right? Not online. But anyway, I think we got through it, and I think Jesse has a little better understanding now of options than he did before the class for sure. But that was a good class, I thought. Mansolo says, KMX backed off in the last minutes, failed V2. Yes, that is right. It did fail, but I'm glad it was still, oh no, you don't have that trade. Alan has that trade, but I'm still glad it was up for Alan. But yes, you're right. It did not confirm a V2. Mansolo says, highly recommend Greg's coaching. What a patient teacher. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I am pretty patient. And I'll tell you why. One, I'm patient anyway, but in the past, I've studied with people that got frustrated if I asked the question like more than once. Right? And I need to ask questions many times. That's just how I am. And I assume everyone else is as well. And so I got a little scared to ask questions anymore. But anyway, if you guys become my student, you can ask me the same question 1,000 times in a row, and I will tell you the answer 1,000 times in a row, because I don't care how many times you answer it or ask it. I just want to make sure you understand. But thanks, Mansolo. I appreciate it. Clarence Beek says, look at the growth of PALL since May 2019. I have been watching for an entry for quite some time. I missed the dip on 1223 because it wasn't a clean entry. Let's take a look. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken it either. I wouldn't have taken it either. You have this big down day. You come up here. It did stall for a couple days at the halfway mark, which I would expect it to. And then it just took off. Would have been nice if we would have had some kind of crossover to get you in. But there was no crossover there. So this is just one of those situations where you look at the chart and go, dang, I wish I would have got in. But when you really analyze it, there's really no place to have gotten in, right? Other than just buying it. But then what's your plan? Yeah, that happens, huh, bud? Mansolo says, even though SPY's below 70 RSI, Qs are still above. Okay, well that's a good thing to point out. Yeah, so the SPY has lost the 70 RSI, failed right up here at the 70 RSI. Qs are still above the 70, so obviously the Qs are stronger than the SPY right now. Dr. Long says, where would Walmart trade if it was traded at the 30? Oh, that's a good question. One thing that I really like about Trade Navigator, this is my charting platform, is it does have a tool called the What If tool, which allows me tomorrow to say, where's the 30 RSI? So right now we're at 116.53, we're at a 32.91, so I hit the little What If button, I hit New Bar, and then follow the RSI in the bottom right-hand corner. Down, 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 down. Oh, there's all 7. Roughly right there. Roughly right there. And what is right there? Right there lines up, look at that, right about the third ATR channel. So that's what I would be looking for. Well, here, I'll just mark it right here so I have it and I can look at for tomorrow. Tomorrow, if we went under the 30 RSI, back over, under the negative third ATR channel back over, I'd buy that in a second. I would buy that in a second. So does that help, Dr. Long? 115.86 is where I have it for tomorrow. Mansolo says Dr. Long around 115. So mine's a little higher than that. Mine's 115.86. Murat, what's going on, buddy? Glad to see you, my friend. Thank you for making the effort to come by today. Great to see you. Murat's our friend from Norway. Murat's a wonderful trader, very technical, does a lot with oil and energy products. And great to see you. How are things going, my friend? Okay. Dr. Long says, yes, thank you. Okay, good, good, good. So what are we doing after hours here? SPY's down a little bit. Let's see. Okie dokie. Try that over there. Okay. How's your, Murat says, thanks, Greg. Good to be back. How's your trading going so far, Murat? I know you were kind of busy with some other things, but have you had any trades? What kind of positions have you had lately? And by the way, did anyone take any trades today that they would like me to put up on the board? I know, okay, so I know Bing He got out of ATSG, so we had a loss on that, but congratulations, Bing He, for following your plan, keeping that loss small, right? So very nice. Not sure what Mount Doji did, but he's chilling in Costa Rica with this 3.34% gain while he's lounging on the beach, so it doesn't get any better than that. All right, Amount Solo, I'm pretty sure, is still in CMCSA, still in FedEx. Alan did keep Boeing, I believe. He wants to see if it will stay under the 50 again tomorrow. And then KMX, Alan still has. So, all right. Dr. Long says, I bought calls and turned them into puts. Put buy selling, so I need to buy the dip. Okay, let me see if I follow that. I bought calls and turned them into puts. All right. Puts, buying, selling, so I need to buy the dip. And what was that on, Dr. Long? Oh, buy, selling on Walmart. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. See, I think I got. How about Andrea? Andrea, do you have any positions lately? We need to make sure we keep an eye on you, Andrea, and make sure you're sticking with your trading plan, right? Okay, I think I got everyone there. Oh, we had a great group today. Really great group today. Murat says, I opened 7 stock positions, 4 in Oslo, 2 in Stockholm, 1 in Copenhagen. Okay, good. I guess we can't look at those, huh? Were they energy related, Murat? All right, let me just check over here real quick. Okie dokie. Oh, goodness. All right. Okay. Dr. Long says, I'm long $517 calls, short 300 shares. Oh, I see. Okay, so you're short shares and you're long calls. 117s. Dirk says, can you have a look at SSV, please? Well, just because you said please. SSV. Dang, I don't have an SSV, Dirk. I put in SSV and it pulls up SSW. See? SSW, but I put in SSV. Can you double check that symbol just to make sure I'm putting in the right one? But I did put in SSV. Murat says, slow down in oil trading a bit since I don't see good setups. It is too responsive to external forces these days. It completely loses its own supply demand dynamics, just news driven. Yeah, I don't blame you. There's a lot of volatility and headline risk with that. Yeah, Dirk, sorry, buddy. I don't see SSV. I'm typing it in SSV and I don't have it. It pulls up SSW. Sorry. Okay, one of your positions diversified in oil, one's in the oil service, one shipping, one security, one telecom, one digital security, and one in finance. Sounds good. I hope they work out for you, bud. Murat knows what he's doing, though, I can tell you that. Okay. All right. Oh, TSXV. All right. TSXV. Oh. TSXV. Yeah, I can't pull that one up either, Dirk. I apologize. It's because it's Canadian. Darn it. If you want to send me a Twitter a direct message on Twitter, Dirk. If you could take a screenshot and send me your chart, I'd be happy to break it down that way as well. Dr. Long says, I'm looking for CL puts and bond puts. Okay. So when you say CL, you're talking about oil futures? Or are you talking about Colgate Palmolive and bond puts? Yeah, let's look at bonds. Yeah, but Dirk, if you ever want to send me a chart to Twitter, I'm happy to take a screenshot and then put it over here and show everybody. So if I was looking at bonds here, I would be looking, we close above the 1 ATR channel. We're back in the value zone. If we could get it to move sideways to get that higher low B1, B2, that I would go long actually on that. But if and only if it did that, MACD is positive here as well. Dr. Long says crude oil. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. So you're looking at puts on bonds and gold. Okay, so let me check over here. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to start saying goodbye to everybody. If you have any other questions or comments you want me to take a look at, please let me know. Oh, Dr. Long says, should have bought bond puts today. Yeah. Yesterday would have been the day, or yesterday's open would have been the day to buy the puts, right? Murat says, I can send you some info to see all my charts. It's pretty easy. I just send you a link and you could open. And if you open in TR Dane Train. Okay, yeah, send me anything you want, Murat. And then tomorrow I will go and take a look at that. So I'm going to start saying goodbye to everybody. Murat, thank you so much. Feel free to send me that on Twitter and we can take a look at it tomorrow. Dr. Long, thank you. Good seeing you and appreciate your input on the option trades you're doing. Sounds like you do a lot of options and some complex options as well. So really appreciate your input, Dr. Long. Dirk, good seeing you. Sorry I couldn't look at that, but send me a link or send me a screenshot on Twitter and I can share it with the group. Bing He, good to see you, my friend. Hope you have a good day there. Sorry about that loss, but it was small and we'll just look for a better one, right? Okay. And Murat, we say goodbye to Murat. Really glad to have you back, Murat. Thank you so much. Man Solo, good to see you, my friend. And just get with me when your schedule gets clear, and we'll go ahead and schedule our fourth session. Man Solo is a really great student. Jesse, thanks again, bud. Glad that we could track those options a little bit on Walmart just so you could get a real feel of how those work, and hope you have a little better understanding of options. And just please let me know if you have any other questions. And thank you so much for what you sent there, Jess. I really appreciate it. And it was great catching up with you last night. Joshua Kaufman, thanks for coming, bud. We did try on Walmart, just didn't work out this time. Andrea, nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Bing He, thank you so much for coming. Christopher Hitchin, appreciate you coming today. Hope you have a good evening. Have a good rest of your evening. Hope to see you again. And Glenn Dem too. Appreciate you coming. Nice to have you here the first time. It's kind of an interesting time to be a newbie in trading, but my suggestion, you're brand new, try to learn things, correct principles now so you don't have to break bad habits by getting in there and just trading all crazy. Try to just trade perfect, have a plan, which you did on gold, so I'm really glad to see that. But thanks for coming. Hope to see you again. Steve Burns, always an honor, sir. Thank you so much for coming, and glad we both had a good day on Etsy today. And thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing Frank's poem. Those are good poems, huh? But have a great rest of your day, John. Nice seeing you. And don't know. So, oh, this was the V-type candles. We were talking about that on TrendSpider. But thank you, John, for coming. And Alan, good seeing you. Appreciate you being here. Hope to see you again. Frank, thank you so much for the poem. Awesome poems every day. And man, you sure have a talent for that. Appreciate you being here, my friend. Toby Petty, great to see Toby. If you have any questions, my friend, you please let me know, okay? Pat O'Connell, thank you. Appreciate you being here. Thanks again. Marco, good to see you, Marco. Hope you have a good evening in Slovenia. And Lolly, of course, it's nice to see Lolly back. Thanks for coming, Lolly. If you have any questions, anything I can help you with, you know how to get a hold of me, right? And David from Denver, good seeing you. Thank you for coming. Nice to see you as always. Mount Doji, have a really great time. What a great day. He had a great trade and he's in Costa Rica chilling on the beach. So that's all good. All right. All right. Look, before we go, just want to put in my little end of the day request, and it is to go out and do something nice for somebody today, right? Just one little kind gesture, hold the door open, give a smile, give a wave, just a little something each day. You can make a huge difference in somebody's life. Just one little small thing can really turn somebody's day around. And actually, one of my students, or student to be very soon, she sent me an email saying, I don't know if you watched the Golden Globe Awards, but Brad Pitt was up there, and Brad Pitt basically said in his speech or whatever, his talk, he basically said the same thing. Go out, do something nice for somebody today. If you have the chance, go ahead and do it. So obviously Brad Pitt listens to this live stream each day and he's taking my material, but that's okay. I guess it's for a good cause, right? But seriously, do go out, do something nice for somebody today. Never hurts, and you can make a big difference. And then on the way out, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, if you forgot, but you're still there, I really would appreciate it. And that's one nice thing you can do today, right? Hit the thumbs up button if you found today's program helpful. So anyway, very happy with how today worked out, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. So have a great rest of your day, and hopefully see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye now. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation, and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients
may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.